Good day, students. We want to thank God for His faithfulness, for keeping us in the face of this pandemic. And we want to believe that God is keeping us safe. I will be taking government. And in this lesson, we shall be discussing Nigeria's foreign policy. Nigeria's foreign policy. Under this topic, we hope to achieve some objectives. At the end of this lesson, students should be able to define foreign policy. And also, they should be able to examine 5 factors that influence Nigeria's foreign policy. Students should be able to explain 6 objectives of Nigeria's foreign policy. Okay. Now, from the topic foreign policy, we have 2 key terms. One of it is foreign, and the other one is policy. And if students are able to understand these 2 terms, understanding the topic foreign policy will be very easy. Now let's start with the first key term, foreign. So foreign has to do with overseas, outside, abroad, and obviously and ultimately outside the country. Now look at this. We have Nigeria, we have Ghana, we have United States of America. Maybe let me add China to it. Now these 3 countries are outside Nigeria. Now anything that is coming from here is actually coming from a foreign land. Like we have foreign rice, like we have foreign clothes and the rest of them. Let's move to the next key term, policy. Now, policy basically has to do with rule, decision, principle, guideline, etc., etc. Now, a policy could be seen as a rule. It could also be seen as a decision. And we can also see policy as a guideline. Now, let's look at the definition of foreign policy. We said foreign policy can be defined as a set of guidelines that shape the relationship of one nation state with another. Now, different nations of the world have their guidelines, they have their decisions as they relate with different countries of the world. Like I've written here, see Nigeria, see Ghana, see United States of America, see China. Now, Nigeria relates with Ghana, with the United States of America, and China using different policies, using different guidelines, because she has something to achieve. Now, I want us to quickly see something that I believe is going to help us. Now, look at this. Gains. Let's see, loss is here. Let's see threats. Let's see benefits. Alright, maybe let me just make use of these words to explain. Now, each time a country wants to relate with another country, there are things she would want to protect, especially her national interest. Domestic policies must be protected while she relates with other countries of the world. Now, they said a tree cannot make a forest. And that's why we have what is called the interdependence of nations. Countries like the United States of America, very big countries, very advanced country. Look at Germany. look at United Kingdom, very, very big countries, advanced countries in technology, in science, you know, but all these countries cannot depend on the domestic, you know, resources to actually live. They actually need the resources from other countries of the world. And that is what actually brings about the interdependence of nations. And in fact, that's what actually ultimately brings about foreign policies of different nations. As they relate, they have a lot of things to protect, as they also gain from other countries. Now Nigeria will want to get something from Ghana, but there are things she would want to protect. So which type of policy should I make? There should be guidelines, even as Nigeria relates with Ghana and other countries of the world. Now, the second was that it can also be the body of decisions formulated to serve as the guiding principles of a sovereign country in its interaction with other countries. I think I've explained this. So I think this is on this. So let's see factors that can influence Nigeria's foreign policy. Factors. What are those things that can actually influence the policy or the decisions or the guidelines of a particular country as it relates with other countries of the world? Now we pick them one after the other. One, we have national interest. Now when we're talking about national interest, they are domestic, you know, affairs that a country needs to handle, to protect, like the defense of the citizens, and then a policy that will jeopardize the lives and the property of her citizens. Two, national ideology. Now, talking about national ideology, you know, Nigeria is practicing a multi-political party system. Now, each of the political party has its own ideology. Now, every political party that comes into power will now bring in its own ideology. And such ideology becomes a national ideology. So such ideology has a way of influencing the foreign policy of that nation. Let's move on quickly. Geographical location. Now the geographical location of Nigeria is very, very important in actually formulating its own foreign policy. Nigeria is being seen as the giant of Africa and the father of Africa. We have 54 countries in Africa, which Nigeria is one of it. And Nigeria, among these 54 countries, plays a key role. And so whatever policy Nigeria is actually making, Africa will be the first consideration. It gives Africa the first consideration. And that actually influences its own policy. Economic resources. Nigeria basically is a third world country and producer of mainly raw materials. Now she needs other countries to import its own goods, and it also needs other countries so that it can actually import their own goods. Now, these economic resources has to do with all the resources, material resources, human resources, information resources. We can go on and on. All those resources that the country will have a way of actually influencing its own foreign policy. Let's move. Military strength of Nigeria. The military strength of Nigeria also has a key role in influencing its own policy. Now, Nigeria in Africa is seen as one of the countries that has a very strong military, background. And it has been sending soldiers to different countries of Africa to maintain peace. For example, the soldiers from Africa or from Nigeria were sent to Congo to quell down the crisis in Congo. And most of the countries of Africa actually left the country for 4 years. The military personnel of Nigeria were still taking care of things in Congo. And Nigeria have been sending, military personnel to different other countries of Africa to maintain peace. And that can actually also influence Nigerian foreign policy. Let's also look at membership of international organizations such as ECOWAS, OPEC, and the rest of them. Now, different countries of the world have been part of different international organizations. Now, in these different international organizations, pacts or treaties or agreements are made. Now, each time Nigeria wants to actually formulate her own policy, she looks at these policies side by side, policies or agreements that have been entered into in different international organizations. And that has a way of influencing her foreign policy. Let's see the next one is historical background, e.g. colonial affiliation. Now, most of the countries of Africa and Asia have been colonized by different advanced countries. For Nigeria, Britain. Now, the historical background of Nigeria streaming from Britain has a lot to do with the formulation of its foreign policy. That's the reason why you discover that the foreign policy of Nigeria is pro-West. Why? Because most of the people that are formulating the policies of Nigeria are from, they actually schooling abroad in Britain. Sorry for that obstruction, but we'll continue. We have pacts, treaties, agreements of past governments. Now, different governments that have come into power have actually entered into pacts, into agreements with other countries of the world. Now, the present government cannot do otherwise because of those pacts that have been entered into by past governments. Let's look at objectives of Nigerians' foreign policy. What will Nigeria actually achieve even as she fashions out her foreign policies? One, to protect national interests such as defense of citizens and territorial integrity. One of the things is that as Nigeria puts down her foreign policy, one of the things she hopes to achieve is to protect the citizens and also territorial integrity. Two, to bring about peaceful resolution of interstate disputes. That every dispute among the states should be resolved peacefully. Three, to eradicate colonialism in Africa. It is the desire of Nigeria that none of the African countries will still be under the domination, the subjugation of these advanced countries. And you can bear me witness that all the African countries, all the 45 countries now are sovereign nations. To make Africa this centerpiece of Nigerian foreign policy, I think we discussed this when we are looking at the factors that influence Nigerian foreign policy. Africa gets the first attention before any other country or any continent. To ensure friendly relationship with other countries. And this is actually seen in the light of international relations. Friendly relationship among countries. She wants to maintain that friendliness as she relates or interacts with other countries of the world. Non-interference in other nations' affairs. Just as we've said, Nigeria is actually the giant of Africa. And we have smaller countries. Nigeria fashioned out her foreign policy in such a way that she wouldn't want to interfere in the affairs of other nations. Neither would she want other countries to interfere in her political and administrative activities. Not to align with the ideological rivalry of the socialist bloc and capitalist bloc. Now, during the Cold War, after the Second World War, we have two superpowers. One is the USA, which is the Western bloc, championing the cause of capitalism. And we have the defunct USSR, Union of the Soviet Socialist Republic, which is from the Eastern Bloc, which advocated socialism. Now, Nigeria actually brought up policy that will actually help her not to align with the ideological rivalry that was going on between these two superpowers. And not only Nigeria, most of the African and Asian countries have actually brought up policies that place them on a neutral ground. And that has actually created a platform for them to actually maintain international peace. Now, students, I would want us to just summarize what we have discussed so far. Alright, the summary is on the board. Definition of foreign policy, which we say is actually the total decision or guidelines or principles that guide the relationship of a particular nation in its interaction or in its relationship with other countries of the world. Now we say we've also discussed the different factors that can actually influence the formulation or the putting together of different foreign policies of different nations of the world. One of it we said is national interest. Another one we say is ideological decision of or national ideology of the country. We've also looked at explanation on some objectives of Nigeria's foreign policy. One of it is that Nigeria wouldn't want to interfere with the political administrative activities of other countries, and it advocates the same for other countries of the world. Now, I will not just finish this lesson without giving you an assignment. The assignment is explain the nature of Nigeria's foreign policy since independence. I will need to consult a lot of books and also go into the net and the rest of it. In our next lesson, I would want us to come up with this explanation. Let me see how many people can actually handle this. Please take your time to write something on Nigeria's foreign policy since independence. Students, this will be all for now. Good morning. Balka, Check.